It's minicamp and OTA season, and today we're looking at the New York Giants and getting a good look at Jaxson Dart. We're going to watch him throw the ball around, work through some drills, everything else. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're looking at practice every day. Rookie camp, training camp, minicamp, OTAs, workouts in between. Whatever we can find, what these players are doing behind the scenes, we're going to show it to you. Your rookies, what they're doing in practice, how they're developing. That veteran coming back from an injury, that quarterback battle. Those guys you're drafting fancy. It's all going to be right here. Click that button. Stop missing out. We're looking at Jaxson Dart here today. Got 2 minutes of clips from the last couple days of practice. We're going to let this roll. Keep talking ball here. But here we are. Here we are. Jaxson Dart, drafted in the first round to the Giants. There we are. Nice one over there. This one's kind of zoomed out a little bit as we're to the far side of the field. But that's all good. You'll see Russell Wilson there. See some of the other veterans. Here we go. There's him again. You see him take off a bit. The mobility is a little bit underrated with him. Getting it out there. Solid toss. Stepping back. Another one right there. Again, these are just drills, so pitch and catch should just look like pitch and catch. Here's him coming out with everybody. Hand practice. There's another one getting out quick. There's another one. Looking solid. Taking off with it. Like the one before, but from a different beat writer filming it. Could be even a different play. Down there, tossing. Getting some toss in. Practices are vastly different too in OTAs, minicamp, training camp from these teams. You'll see, if you're watching team to team on this channel, you'll see that. All in all, things are looking good. Ooh, nice little dive there. Jaxson Dart, drafted in the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft, is a quarterback you need to pay attention to, especially for the long term. This is more of a long-term play, but the long-term play is not going to be like as long as you think it's going to be. We have two veteran quarterbacks in front of them. Of course, they're going to start off the season as the dudes in front of them, but that's actually a great springboard for him to develop from, learn from, give him time to develop into the system. I'd be kind of worried if he was the QB1 going into the season. I would want him to get some time this season like this to develop and just watch, learn, take his time, because it's not like we're coming out of college as an NFL-ready prospect. We still got to iron some things out. However, the intangibles are there. But the thing is, once he gets his opportunity, you have Malik Nabers there, one of the top wide receivers in the league. And usually, when we see these quarterbacks step in, that's highly rated coming out of the draft or high-end draft capital with a top-flight wide receiver, or it's a decent veteran that's floating around the league. I'm not going to compare him to those late-round guys who really are just journeyman, third-string backups. Typically, those quarterbacks make some noise with those top-flight wide receivers. Like, all he has to do is spam targets to Malik Nabers, and that's going to bail him out as he's developing, learning the system on the fly once he gets his opportunity. That's all he's got to do. So the thing is, he's just got to take some steps forward here. Training camp, minicamp, OTAs here in 2025. Maybe get on the field a little bit this year, maybe not. Next year, take some steps forward in OTAs and minicamp, and now we're competing in training camp. Maybe we get our opportunity. Maybe don't. Maybe don't. Maybe it's another year. Maybe it's the middle of the season. But again, this is a long-term game here with Jaxson Dart. We have two veterans, and I like that they got Jameis Winston there. From what we saw back at Cleveland, him developing the other quarterbacks, him helping them out, then him stepping up, getting his opportunity. He's just a very good dude. He's a guy that's there to help anybody that's around him, and that's just going to help Jaxson Dart. And he was going to be a good role model for Jaxson Dart. Anybody around him. Anybody around him. I mean, we all know this. We all listen to his interviews. And sometimes it's goofy, but it's good-hearted. It's good-hearted. Like, if you try to say which quarterback for sure you know has a good heart in the NFL, You're probably Jameis is one of the top ones. Probably Jameis is one of the top ones. He's not going to make it about himself. Russ, on the other hand, Mr. Unlimited, he's here to start. He's here to compete. He's here to be the guy. J-Mo's got a lot of extra to do here. J-Mo's here. He lives in the moment. He lives in the moment. So he'll help anybody that's around him. I guarantee you that. The thing about Jaxson Dart here is we're not 100% polished yet. However, from what I'm seeing from the accounts I've pulled things from and what I've looked at the last couple days, things aren't looking bad. Rookie camp was looking pretty good. Things have been looking pretty good with Jaxson Dart. Looks like things are turning around pretty solid here. Jaxson Dart's got a lot of upside. We got two running backs now. We got Scatterboom and Tyrone Tracy. Those two running backs should feed off each other very well. Wan'Dale Robinson has been solid. He's very underrated, but he's a solid NFL wide receiver that can get open. You got Slayton back who can stretch it deep. We also got time to add to the offensive line and build this team. We're not expected to be the starter right now. That's the great thing about this as we're watching Jaxson goes out, makes these quarterbacks look bad or they fall off hard, then that's a different story and you got to do what you got to do. But he also earned it. He also earned it then. And you'll have to take that with a ray of light like, hey, this is your quarterback going into the future. He beat out vets. That is something. When a young quarterback in a situation like this beats out vets, then you really have to just trust the process there, or trust that the vets didn't have capabilities to give you the upside that we were looking for, and you're just going to have to move forward with it. But right now, he's not expected to be all world. He's expected to learn. He's expected to get better. So that's something you got to pay attention to. You're going to be waiting for him to get his opportunity throughout the next year and a half or so, and it is what it is. But I think that's a great situation. You got Malik Nabers, who'll be even better then, because he'll have more experience in the NFL. You might even have a couple other wide receivers. You got Wan'Dale Robinson. You got some pieces here. Your run game's shaping up. You got Tyrone Tracy, former wide receiver that's very athletic, that can run it between the tackles. Took off last year, especially considering he was a late round pick in a shallow running back class. That's a great addition. Scatterboom's here, a good grinder between the tackles who can make guys miss. That's very elusive but yet powerful. Good vision, good approach to the line of scrimmage. You can lean on him. So you got a 1-2 tandem there. And Malik Nabers is the guy that's going to hitting at all. With Malik Nabers, even during the early times there, that's going to be an early look of him busting. That's when you're going to tell. If you throw him out there now, then it may not be too fair for him. It just may not. We're just not ready right now. Give him some time. Give him some grace. We're in a good situation here, considering what we have on this offense, considering what we're building, considering we're giving him some time. We can add some more. We got a future with this. We can get some more players real quick, especially for that offensive line. We got to retool that after 2025. This is a team that added Abdul Carter. So if he really hits to his upside and plays to his potential, which was one of the few top-tier assets in this year's class that we're looking at that could be a generational prospect, we're looking at Abdul Carter. Now, if he takes over on defense and elevates that, and he's more developed and more equipped once Dart takes over, and Dart's developing and taking a step forward, this Giants team might turn things around. That's the thing about this. That's what you're looking at. The Giants might be turning things around. There's a lot of ifs there, like if this happens, if this guy develops to his upside and all that. That's true. That's true, because I'm not trying to sell you on the Giants, but I'm also trying to sell you on this picture that, hey, if you're being grim, saying, oh, that's another rookie playing pitch and catch right now, well, we got training camp here in the next month and a half or so, 2 months, and next thing you know, things are going to be under fire. 7-on-7s, pads on, and 11-on-11s. Now you're looking at a Giants team that could be taking a step forward going into 2027. That's what we're saying here. Because you got your star wide receiver, you got Abdul Carter, who could be taking a massive step forward, and that could be helping you guys out big time. There's a lot to look at here with Jaxson Dart. Let me know what you think in the comments below and hear about that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.